I can't take a bet at the VFW they just opened because there was a man feverishly masturbating behind, and we both have college degrees.
Do nothing. You don't care. The city has forgot about the homeless people. We're looking at you, Uncle Sam. We're asking government, where are you? I have fought for my country. I'm a Marine. I come back home to what? -5 degrees out here, and you got children sleeping up here in the car park. It's pathetic. And they're right here in the United States of America. That's not what I went to war and hit Afghanistan for.
We took back to the streets of Burlington after last week's city council meeting to talk to more people. We wanted to find out more from Burlingtonians. What the heck is going on in Burlington, Vermont? We talked to residents of Burlington, everybody from homeless people to students on the street. The general consensus among most everyone we spoke to is that more needs to be done.
People are feeling abandoned by their local government and left behind. And for good reason. Let's find out more.
I'm a freshman here at UVM.
Do you feel safe going out in Burlington?
Yes and no. Like during the day I feel safe, and when I'm with people I feel perfectly safe, but I never walk alone here at night. Especially around this park area, I wouldn't say it's very safe here at night when you're alone. Burlington itself is a beautiful city, and the academics of the school and the skiing. The drugs is the big issue. Like I knew Burlington itself, like my uncle lived here 10 years ago. He said it wasn't nearly as bad, but with like new drug epidemics been going on, Burlington, it's definitely been one of the hot spots for it.
And do you see a lot of homeless people day to day?
Yes, a lot. I will say every time I've been downtown in Burlington, I've seen homeless people. Well, he's not from the area, so we just came down to show him.
Wonderful. And what do you think?
I think it's nice. It's a pretty city, definitely pretty. This is my first time downtown in the daytime. I visited here once before, but I never really walked around the town or anything like that. Yeah, I think it's a pretty town. It's the Church Street is pretty much all I've seen so far, so I would say that's very pretty. But there are a lot of homeless people that I've seen here too.
At the end of the day, Burlington's going to go through some rough spots, but it's still a great city. Like, yeah, it's getting a little bit of a right now, but I still love it, and I'm sure in the future it will get better.
I love that. This next gentleman we spoke to definitely had a lot to say. At some points, he lets his emotions get the best of him, and he remains aware of that. However, he's experienced a lot of Burlington's problems and despair firsthand. I was like, Burlington, what's going on in Burlington?
Yeah, oh goodness. My name is Mark Adams. Burlington, I love this place. However, the city has forgot about the homeless people. Our hearts, we're crying out. We're looking at you, Uncle Sam. We're asking government, where are you? We're in tents. We got children sleeping on the streets up here. Children, 14, 15 years old. Nobody gives a shit. Apparently, I have fought for my country. I'm a Marine, highly decorated. I come back home to what? I'm seeing these men, these girls, these babies on the streets. -5 degrees out here, and you got children sleeping up here in the car park. It's pathetic. Makes my heart cry out. The government, where are they? We elected you for what? You ain't doing nothing. You're sitting there in your nice cozy bed every night while these children sleep on cold city steps. And they're right here in the United States of America. That's not what I went to war and hit Afghanistan for. I went to war to keep them off our doorstep, to come home and make America a nicer, safer place. Our children, you're failing them. 5 of them sitting there, 14, 15 years old, 5 of them. I said, ladies, have you eaten? I come over here, Country Cart Deli. They give me some pizza, and they give me a few hoagies. I'll take them to the girls. Here you go, girls, eat up. These elected officials, you ain't doing shit. You're doing nothing. You're failing them. You're failing us, United States of America. We're disgusted. Disgusted. That's how I feel about that.
What brought you here?
I came here fishing, actually. It was about 25 years ago. And I went to Lake Willoughby. I was fishing. Beautiful place. Decided to settle down in Newport, actually. And then I heard Burlington had a lot more to offer. This place was beautiful back then. Way more accepting. And people had a lot better future. It was more balanced. Today, it's them, us. It's not, it's us, period. Us. Because right now, it may not affect you, but if you lose the job tomorrow, this is going to be you. You're on the streets with a sleeping bag, speak to me, I'll let you know. You need to bundle up. Come over here, get out the wind, get out the rain. Okay? You eating tonight, Ma? You, sir? Have you eaten? They closed down Salvation Army.
It was at this point I realized Mark's emotions were getting the best of him. He has experienced so much despair and seen so much with his own eyes, and his frustration has just taken him to another level. Now, he's talking a lot about teenagers sleeping in the car park, but I can't imagine what else he's seen. He is just one of the people that feel abandoned by their local government. Speaking of which, let's check in with the Burlington City Council meeting from Monday night.
Let's not do that.
Say yes.
No, let's not. Let's not do that. You're imperiling public forum.
Let's do that.
All right, he's speaking into your time. No. Okay, let's not do that. I think we need for that person to leave the room, please.
I'm going to leave because I said no to genocide and you told me to leave. Let's make that a part of legislation. You just made that your record.
If I may finish.
Just voted for genocide.
Israel is committing crimes against humanity. The majority of the public here and across the world are horrified. But most of the US political establishment continues to lend unconditional support to Israel.
We should assume that we have these rights to decide where our city stands on questions of local, national, and international significance. The Zionists claim that Israel is not an apartheid state. That is false. The referendum aims to overcome it, secure justice, and thereby enable peaceful coexistence of Palestinians and Jews with equal rights. Do not fall for the Zionist doublespeak in defense of Israeli apartheid.
Let me ask you another question.
I'm married right now.
What would you like to see from city officials? What would you like to see from groups around Burlington? What would you like to see happen? How do you think people could help?
Accountability. People need to come together and say, okay, we have failed this system. We need to come together as a unity, as a group. You're officials. You've been selected. We trust in you. Your judgment matters to us because what you say is going to come back on us. If you ignore us, you don't listen to us, then how are you going to provide for us? I want to see them come together. I want to see them come on these streets. This man right here. How you doing, brother?
Anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. How you doing, brother?
Good, I can't see.
Look, whether you sympathize or not with this gentleman and his story, you have to understand that there are people in Burlington doing amazing things, like this gentleman who just offered sandwiches to anyone
Are you
who
really
wanted one.
seriously coming on these streets? Do you care about us? Have you gave 5 minutes to ask about how we feel about things? No, you're failing us.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think they're out here asking you guys questions?
They're not out here because they don't care about us. They don't care.
Their voices deserve to be heard and their issues made a priority. If you want to solve the problem, go directly to the people that are experiencing the problem the most. That's at least how he feels, and I would say that it makes sense.
I want to tone it down because right now I'm a little angry.
He feels abandoned by his city officials, and he feels like they don't care. Because if they did, they'd be out there asking these people what they can do to fix it. Now, am I sure they have the answers? Not exactly. Now, this next group was certainly a cold approach. Well, I mean, it was cold out. And I wasn't trying to take up too much of their time, but thankfully, they gave me some.
So, are you guys students?
Yeah.
Yes.
And where are you students?
UVM.
Do you guys feel safe going out in Burlington?
Only in groups.
If you're in a group of girls, so it's still not that safe.
Yeah.
On Halloween, we were with a group of girls, and a guy bent down to look at my butt while I was like wearing a skirt.
We had like several catcalling incidents.
And then there was several catcalling
catcalling.
incidents about the top I was wearing, even though I was with like a big group of girls.
Who was doing that to you?
Just
Some
random guys on the
on
street. Older, all older, not college students.
Yeah.
What do you guys see as some of the biggest problems in Burlington?
The issue with housing crisis.
Yeah, there's a large like homeless community and there's not enough access to resources that they should have. I'd say there's also a large like drug issue going around.
So from the city government and state government, what would you want to see for help?
I feel like a lot of it is just having more access to mental health and physical health resources and places where they can get out of the cold, especially in the winter because it's so cold here.
Also, it's really hard because you need people help out with those things, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to like draw people to Burlington, Vermont, but we do certainly need more well-trained people that like know what they're doing in order to help out.
Why do you think it's challenging to attract more people to Vermont to work those kinds of jobs?
I mean, we're just kind of a small city. There's not like a ton going on here.
It's a small state. There's not a lot going on. This is why we're here talking to you guys. Is it, from when you first came here as a student, what was your perspective like as opposed to now?
You just see more. The longer that you're here, you witness more individual experiences with the homeless population. And I've kind of noticed I thought that there was a lot less stigma around the homeless, but I work at the Davis Center at the University of Vermont, and a lot of times people will come up to me or my coworkers and just express discomfort with the existence of homeless people. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just using a public building in its operational hours, and people are still coming up and being like, hey, I'm pretty uncomfortable with the way that this person is. That's not how they phrase it, but that's essentially what it boils down to. We talk a lot and we repost a lot of things, but a lot of people are still just uncomfortable with the visibility of homeless people. I also just want to see less people dehumanizing them and demonizing them.
I grew up in this area, but ever since actually living in Burlington, I've been a lot more closer to the larger issues. Being with students who really care about the people around them in their community, I'm certainly way more aware of what the issues actually are and what it might take to help.
I'm from Portland, Maine, which also is dealing with a lot of very similar issues. So with drug use and homeless, people not having places to live is something that I've also grown up seeing. It's just really important to treat them as human beings and not...
Especially as it's getting colder.
Yeah, especially living in New England, it's cold and unsafe for them to be living outside. So I think it's just really important to be focusing on it and being kind to them and wanting to help them.
It is extremely cold. Why do you think people stay here as opposed to going somewhere where it's warmer?
Lack of mobility.
Can't afford it.
Yeah.
I think it costs money to travel. Elsewhere.
No, I don't think so.
We're all sad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we want to get out of the cold.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to...
Say what you will about college kids. I was one myself. These kids are well-intentioned and tuned into what's going on in Burlington. Monday night's meeting at the city council didn't pertain to homelessness or the drug crisis, but rather the city council voted down a pro-Palestine symbolic resolution that was to be on the March 5th ballot on town meeting day. This symbolic resolution would have declared Burlington an apartheid-free community and, quote, supported ending the military occupation of Gaza. This comes after 3 Palestinians were shot in the Burlington community last December. However, many feel as if the resolution is pointless and meaningless considering the fact that Burlington has so many local issues that deserve immediate attention.
My name is Jeff Potash. I am a lifelong resident of Burlington and a 37-year property owner and taxpayer. I attended Burlington schools. My message to you is really quite simple. For me, my family, and I suspect for many other long-term residents of Burlington, the quality of life has seriously deteriorated in recent years. Expectations which we took for granted, properly maintained roads, personal safety, urban cleanliness, exemplary schools have been waylaid in favor of political grandstanding and social experimentation. What we have witnessed and are seeing here tonight is a board whose valuable time is occupied debating issues over which it has no standing nor legitimacy. We all deserve better. Let's stop the circus. Councilors, focus on the job, please, that you were elected to do. Make Burlington safe, rebuild infrastructure, give our resident taxpayers something tangible for ever-increasing tax burden. It is with tremendous pain that I observe in this community a growing sense of hatred, a growing sense of anti-Semitism, as well as a growing sense of Islamophobia. Jews and Muslims in Burlington are not enemies.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Adam Francis.
This here is the final interview of our day. This gentleman tells the story of a Vermonter born and raised who found himself on the streets. Given the circumstances of his life and background, I'm inspired by his hope.
My name is Raymond Crickard.
Most of the problems around here in Burlington, Vermont would be the homelessness, lack of funding for housing people that basically don't have no income, but they live off GA or off the system to be able to get their help. You should be able to have more affordable housing for us people that are homeless or on disability.
And what do you think, say, the city council now could be doing better to do that, to fix that problem specifically?
Like some of the abandoned buildings, they should turn into low-income housing or more homelessness shelters to be able to house more people for nighttime and to have a day type like shelter so you can rest, do what you got to do, you know, like shower, all that type of stuff. You know, hygiene's a must.
And where are you from, Raymond?
I'm from Eden, Vermont, more up north in the sticks. I'm not originally from a city type place like this, but I'm kind of getting adjusted. I've been down here a little over a year. I've been homeless since I've been down here. I was homeless when I was up north, but I was in a hotel the state put me up in to be able to stay warm and out of the weather.
And where was that?
Lindenville, Vermont.
Okay, and how did you get, what brought you here specifically?
What brought me down here was I was in a relationship. We wanted to stay more closer together.
So you grew up in Vermont?
Yeah. As a child, it was a little rough, but we ended up getting by and being able to move forward. We got electric. You know, we used to run off generators and batteries. But it was rough, but we got through it, and here I am still to this day.
I mean, Burlington's a pretty good place.
Yeah, it's a good place. It's a little rough, but I'm making it. Pretty chill, relaxed, laid back. A lot better than up north. They're more uptight about certain stuff, like probation stuff. Like they're more relaxed down here. They don't have that thing where they want to violate you all the time up down here. But up north, they have that thing where they want to violate you and get you put back in jail to serve that time out. A violation is like, say you picked up another crime and you weren't supposed to, which means you did something you weren't supposed to. You violated one of your conditions.
So what you know is that there's a lot of this type of stuff happening in Burlington where you can come here and you don't have to worry as much about it.
Yes, it's more smoother going.
Okay, it's more smoother going. Okay, and is there anything else you want to add?
Pretty chill, smooth going place.
Okay,
ain't as bad as a lot of people would put it out as, more rough and violent, and it ain't violent. Just one of those things.
Completely understand.
You just gotta take it day by day and keep moving.
Our goal, of course, was to get nuanced perspectives and perspectives from as many people as possible. Hence why we went out and talked to college students and homeless people, because we perceive these two groups to be some of the most different groups within the Burlington community. That being said, I was surprised by the answers by some of the college kids, and I was impressed by some of the answers by the homeless people. That being said, when you do get to talking with some of the college students, or you attend the city council meeting, you begin to understand why these people feel disenfranchised and why they feel left out of the conversation. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the city council doesn't want to solve this problem, and I'm definitely not saying that the college students aren't invested in it either. My point is, it seems that the driving motivators of conversation and policy change come from people that aren't necessarily invested in the city of Burlington, or necessarily invested long-term, for example, the transient types, or college students, or homeless people. So when you do hear from the voice of reason like this gentleman, you have to wonder if there's more Burlingtonians out there thinking the same way as him. And to be abundantly clear, this is not the Burlington Daily News siding with either side of the equation here in Burlington with the horrific situation of the shooting of 3 Palestinians, nor the symbolic resolution. However, it does seem that there are more important issues to be solved in Burlington right now, and all it takes is a walk on the streets to figure that out. We will continue the coverage of the Burlington City Council along with all things Burlington. It is our goal to give fair, honest, and accurate reporting. We are open to criticism and feedback, and if you want to speak to us, I, Paul Bean, will be at the Burlington City Council representing the Burlington Daily News on January 29th. Thank you.